FYI, this house, that was a neighbor standing outside when that guy started screaming at me because I asked them nicely to get on the other side of the road so me and Sam weren't forced into traffic. She also has 2 dogs. They bark at Sam every time we go by. So it's not as if Sam is a nuisance, because he's not. See how well behaved he is walking with me? You see that he's on 2 leashes? The green one goes around my waist, and the other one is wrapped around my wrist, and it's on a what is it called? I forget the name for it. But this is to keep me and Sam safe from now on. Yeah, that same house, big green truck used to sit across from my duplex and watch me while my husband was at work. And yeah, I admit sometimes I did certain things because I knew it was there. And I wanted to see if he'd ever admit to me that he was having people monitor me. Of course he didn't. It is a nice community at first glance. I grow tomatoes and whatnot all summer. I handed them out to several people on this road, whether they like me or not, just to show that I am neighborly and try to be a good neighbor. The unit that is attached to the house where I pay out the wazoo in rent, and honestly, that should entitle me to more rights or permissions, since I do pay so much. I also cut the neighbor's grass when I'm able to. But this is what we'll be doing from now on. I will record every single walk we take. Why do I hear an echo? It's like I'm on a friggin' broadcast station somewhere. How ridiculous. Good boy, Sam. His friends have come out of the woodwork again. See that car flashing its lights down there? I don't know what that's about. I've even changed the time that we come out for our walk, if you'll notice. It's barely 6, I think. Normally we wait till 8 or 9. That man also screamed at me, "Hey lady, it's none of your business what we do." I said, "Well, you're on the wrong side of the road. You're pushing me and Sam into traffic." "How do you know that?" "Because I walk everywhere. I make it my business to know that I'm acting in accordance with laws that actually make sense. Like walking against traffic so you can see when it's coming your way. For example, keep coming, hon. We're going to go down here and do your trail." That's a good boy. Who's a good boy? See how nicely he walks? He is not a menace to anybody. He is my best friend, and he is my only friend, and they know he's my protection. Years ago, when all this started, I had thousands and thousands of followers on Facebook. But because I went from makeup to talking about God and then posting facts about a boys, girls, or a man-boy organization in America that wants to drop the age of consent, period, so that our children aren't protected at all, that's when all this started. So what does that tell you about where I live? Would you have the same issue where you live? Are you protecting people that do these things to children? Because you shouldn't be. And now I have to deal with my whole neighborhood gang stalking me and police that won't listen. I called my local police department yesterday. They transferred me to a city that couldn't do anything. It's about 10 miles down the road. "No, honey, we can't go over there." He's after a squirrel now. Come on. See him still quiet, being a good boy? He doesn't bark unless other dogs start barking at him. He actually, a couple houses back, there's a baby toy Dachshund that lives there. And he knew the baby. He knew it was a baby. I said baby, and he knew it was small. And so he, here, I can let this one go for now, okay? There you go. That's better. And so he met this baby Dachshund with the baby Dachshund's mother. And the Dachshund came to the edge of the yard, and Sammy laid down in the road and let that dog come smell him and kiss him on the face. That's how good he is. He is a little strong, which is why I have now a leash around my waist and one on my arm. And it's wrapped in a slip knot all the way up around my arm. I just let it loose a little bit. You could see it there. Sorry, he's doing his thing. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm just not. Why would you, when I call the police, because I was totally in the right, to a city that isn't even my jurisdiction where help could be had. None of this makes any sense. And if go bye. Sorry, it's gonna go in and out like that, but it's what I got to deal with. I'm not going to stop recording until I get in. Why do we pay for mobile data when it never works either? Come on, Sam. I'm sorry, I got you all tangled. So it can be a nice neighborhood. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. But the people are heinous. I mean, just heinous. I had no idea that this was the kind of place this was, or I would have never moved here, and I would not have raised children here. Oh, he's going to do his business. Let me give him some privacy. Go ahead, babe. You don't have to go all over the world. Just, there you go. See, now he's doing his thing, and I'll turn around and take him home. He's a young boy, just 2 years old now, and he needs exercise or he gets very hyper, which happens with any 2-year-old dog. I did not have him neutered because I don't believe in that anymore. It's barbaric. I had it done to one dog, and I felt horrible, and it also confuses the dogs. Let me tell you a little something about testosterone. When you take the boys, when you have your dog or cat neutered, especially if it's a male, Sammy now is always trying to, get down with my older dachshund. We'll go through all the way later, okay? I do not want to run into these people, Sam. I do not want a confrontation, but I will have one if I have to. Because this is my best friend. My husband and his cronies have taken everything from me. They ruined my relationship with my children. They tempted me and put crap in front of my face. And they knew his rule. They knew that I had to do anything he was doing. I had to have it in my system. Most women who are abused, they know these unspoken rules. You don't go against your abuser in certain ways. And that was one of the ways I had to do whatever he was doing. And obviously I don't do that anymore. And that's the problem. Now that I'm not compliant with whatever he wants from me, this crap starts up again. And how fair is that police resources are being used to even out some debt that, personal, personal vengeance, personal vendetta. What are you after? No, that's trash. It fell out of the... If my hands weren't full, usually we pick trash up. Come on. He's not used to this at all either because we never come out this early. And I just pretty much got him out of bed and said, let's go. You want your walk? We're doing it now. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? I will not be separated from my dog, and I will not leave the place where I pay to live. And I pay taxes and all these things, and I have for years. And I took care of a lot of these people's relatives because they couldn't be bothered to do so, so they put them in a nursing home. That's where I live. That's how they pay me back. That's how my community shows me love for what I did for all those years. It's reprehensible and it's disgusting. And I'm sorry that my page will have this on it from now on, but I have to protect Sam. He didn't do anything. Come on, baby. Maybe we... Well, I don't want to be out here. Come on. I have a grown son who lives in the house and a husband, allegedly, who do nothing to watch out for my welfare or well-being. And in fact, were part of whatever happened when I was drugged and violated in my own bed. I go to the police. I had marks all over me. They did not offer to take pictures of any of them. They're deviants and reprobates at this point. And it's disheartening, discouraging. See me walking against traffic. When you walk, it's walk against, ride with. My dad taught me that years ago. The law is the same in Ohio. I looked it up. So tell me we still have any rights in America. Tell me that we do, please. Point me in the direction of a town that still operates on basic morality and community and citizenship. because this ain't it, friends. This ain't it. I'm not going to continue to pay to live somewhere where I'm harassed, targeted, stalked. I can't even reach out to family on social media. They can clone your apps, you know that, right? They can also clone your SIM card to have your calls rerouted. He got this phone for me, he pays for it. I'm surprised anything gets out at all. This is what happens when you decide to reform your life, you repent, and those around you are afraid you're going to turn them in because you've tried to change your life. It ain't my business what grown adults do. Unless you are harming children or abusing someone where I can see it, live your life, I'll live mine. That's what that man said. You worry about yourself, lady. Lady, that dog is a menace. He's a menace. Does Sam look like a menace to you guys? He's real frightening, isn't he? You know what he's doing now? He's looking for flowers to smell. You smell the pretties? That's what he's doing. He is not a menace. He would never bite anybody. I do keep him away from the elderly and small children because he will get excited and he will jump. And, you know, you could knock somebody over when you jump, and those old people, they're fragile. I know this because I took care of most of them that live here. But I will not stop recording from now on when we're on our walks. That's just what we're going to do. And, you know, it's really sad we can't even actively listen. I had somebody post on my video about reincarnation, about how I'm mixing the Talmud and Judaism in with Christianity and blah, blah, blah. Listen, just because I do a video on something to make people aware and broaden their horizons a little bit so they know what's around them and how it's operating, that does not mean I believe in that thing. Do I believe in stalking because I make all these videos? Absolutely not. It's the opposite. I expose the crap because that's what should be done. Oh no. Now he's going to go in the middle of the road. Thanks, Sam. People already hate me. I will come back with a bag and pick that up, though. I'm not going to stop recording. I'm just not. I need to be kept safe. Sam needs to be kept safe. And I don't even care about myself at this point. Like, my life is so small at this point. But our animals shouldn't have to pay for the fact that our neighbors or our spouses have some misguided vendetta against us. See, there's the house. She has two big, I call them the twins, two big, I don't know if they're retrievers, and they're red-haired. And there's a green truck, and she was the neighbor who was outside seeing all this go down. She's also allegedly a nurse, or her husband is, because I showed that my husband had been there on his Google Maps years ago when we were having all those problems. I said, you friends with a nurse? No, I don't know what you're talking about. But of course, if you wanted to drug somebody, that'd be the person to get, right? To have on your side to help you with those things. Yeah. The green truck that is always there, that lives there, used to sit out front of my duplex where I used to live, shine its bright lights on in through my windows while my husband was at work at night. And I'm home alone with two minor children. That's what they do. They think these things are okay. And most of them have been paid off by whatever government is coming in, the regime, to replace what we currently have. And it's coming. I mean, I'm sorry if people can't see it. And they say, well, if you don't break the law, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. I didn't break any law. I've never been in jail. I've never even been booked for anything. My husband has, and the system loves him. He's doing great. After he battered me, he found a better job. Yes, those are pretty, Sammy. She's not out right now. Come on. Sammy doesn't know a stranger. Sammy even, and that's the thing, my spouse and son taught him how to jump when they get home. And they pat their chest so he gets up on him. I never taught him that. And it's very hard to break these habits, and I'm trying. I got some tips from the dog shop where I got his stuff. I walked over there. I only believe in spending the money that I do have locally, pouring it back into the community. And still, I'm treated like I have the plague. I don't know what they've told people, but all I can think is that literally everybody's on drugs. Literally. I know his friends are all meth heads. Well, he don't have no friends if you ask him, though. And that's the crap that was brought around. And of course, it opened all kind of doorways up in me, and my life got even harder Because then I started seeing black-eyed beings everywhere. Real fun, right? And I was only using off and on for maybe 6 months, more like 3 or 4. I don't do anything now. I don't even take my thyroid pill right now. This has me such a mess and so stressed out. And I pay to live here. This is where I'll have my little garden and I take care of myself. We had storm blow down tree limbs. I picked them all up myself, carried them over there. Some I carry under there. And I cut the grass yesterday. And sometimes I do the neighbors that's behind us and attached to us when I'm able to. I'm a good neighbor. As good as, you can be in this world. And these days I'm a reformed, repentant person. I don't deserve this, but Sam, he sure doesn't deserve it. That man said, I come outside every time he's walking his dogs. Number 1, it's usually just the woman. Number 2, every dog anywhere has to go potty in the morning. Basically, he accused me of gang stalking him without saying it. So I told him to get away from me with his Freemason BS. And boy, he didn't like that. He started screaming at me more and I just kept walking. I'm not afraid, get it? I'm not scared. But I am kind of ticked off. I would never hurt anybody. I have no desire to hurt anybody. I will not hurt myself. I have no desire to hurt myself. I'm a threat to absolutely no one, other than apparently people who molest children. Thank you for spending this walk with us. I'm going to go back and pick up his duty. And I will talk to you guys soon. I love you. Thank you for your support and encouragement. It means a lot. Bye.